Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. As always, Adam, and today I am joined by Danny.
Hey.
And John.
Yeah, hi.
Do you try to
the energy,
delay,
man. Yeah.
delay as much as possible?
Yeah, to make sure everybody knows that I don't actually care about being here.
You try to delay and deny?
Yes. I
And
have to be the nonchalant deference, yeah.
Tom is not here, so we don't know when Tom will be back, if he comes back. Too busy pumping babies out.
Yeah.
And working, I guess. I don't know. But
Can't begrudge a man to make money, I gotta tell you that, though.
Yeah. This is a...
Let's say when you got 18 kids, you gotta be working. You know, you gotta be making that money.
You gotta make money, especially in this economy. Tell you what.
And so far, we don't know if any of them have any college
aspirations,
college scholarship attributes.
Yeah, they're all too young to know.
I'm gonna guess no.
Damn! Oh wow!
If they do,
I mean, you're not wrong, but should you say it?
If they do, it's gonna be
remember.
Academic. That's what I'm saying.
I can't remember if Tom ever mentioned he played a sport.
He did.
He didn't? Or
He did. Yeah.
What did he play? Baseball. I think it was
I
baseball.
think he played football.
Oh, really? No. Yeah, then he's screwed. Yeah. Oh, well. Get on those academics, Tom.
Cheers.
Oh, man. So just recently, we were just talking a little bit off air about this is the 10th anniversary of the show. So 10 long years.
It's got to be one of the longest running 40K podcasts, right?
Continuously running. The only one running longer is what's the one with it's Forge the Narrative.
They still make episodes?
That one's still they're still making episodes.
Huh. Who knew?
Forge the Narrative and I think Long War.
Oh, Long War. That's been around for a long time.
I think so. I think Long War has been running long.
I mean, they got to live up to the name, right?
And I don't count independent characters because they took like a year or two off twice already. So, but as far as I know, we are the longest running podcast, I think.
Now, that doesn't have anything to do with quality. It's just a matter of
just
consistency and quantity.
Look, at this point we just don't know what else to do. All right, sometimes
Basically.
it's just like, you guys want to get together and podcast? Okay.
We're the Soviet
At
Union
this
of
point,
40K podcasts.
Considering the massive amount of YouTube channels, podcasts, blogs, or whatever out nowadays, at this point, I'm just gonna try to outlast all of them.
Right. Yeah.
So
Just
whether it's me by myself or all of us together,
We can podcast the literal ending of Warhammer 40K.
Yep.
yes.
Well, I guess the game's over. We have one person who listens to the show, and it's my grandma.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Now it's just me when I'm bored on the commute.
Right.
There you
It's
go.
just Tom.
Yeah.
You just Tom has to know what we're saying about
Tom listening to the podcast alone.
Yeah.
But so it's basically at this point. So 10 long years. I started with myself and Travis. Then eventually the producer came on because she would make comments off air,
In the
but you could
background.
overhear it on the microphone. And she would ask questions about the game, and we just answer them. And then eventually she just came on. And the original concept was more of a generic wargaming as opposed to specific 40K. But as time went on, we began talking mostly 40K, and at the time, War Machine. The War Machine was still a thing.
Yeah, because Travis.
I have an aside about that.
About War Machine?
Yeah. So my son found one of my old Hordes books.
Oh no!
Like, it was just like randomly somewhere.
Okay.
And he's now like, he's like,
no.
can we get some of these models? And I'm like, they don't exist
like,
anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, why not?
Best.
We could. It's nice. So yeah, he's really, really, really locked into like the Tuffalos, the trolls riding buffaloes.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, looking at the book again, I'm like, these were some good times, man. These were good times.
Well, Mark
That's just
2,
nostalgia.
Yeah.
This is all nostalgia.
Mark
but these
1 was
were good
good
times.
too.
Mark 1
I
was
enjoyed
fun.
playing Mark 1.
Mark 1 and Mark 2 were great games. Mark 2 towards the end got a little samey, but that's also
Yes.
just honestly the competitive nature of it just burned out real hard. So like by the end of it, I was just like, this is just not fun. It feels like work.
It ended up being too much.
Right.
Yeah.
They went too far into that.
Yeah, and then Mark 3 was just disaster.
Well, Steamforged Game bought all the all that stuff. They didn't buy Monpok though. They don't have the rights to Monpok.
No, Privateer Bristol makes it. They were just posting about it the other day.
It's all War Machine stuff.
So they
right
bought
now
they bought the one IP nobody wants.
Right now they are selling STLs, I think, for some of them, and I think print on demand. I can't remember, but it's some weird thing they're doing with War Machine. So I don't know if it's going to make a comeback at all, or even Guild Ball for that matter. But we'll have to wait and see.
Guild Ball, damn. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Forgot all about
that's the one where they're like, hey,
Yeah.
this game's really good, so we're gonna like get rid of it
Stop making
and
it.
focus on licensed board games. And then the community kept it, so they decided to take it back, I guess. But it belongs to the community now, so I don't know if they'll even listen. So, but they have an issue because Diamond, was it Diamond? The comic book distributor is filing bankruptcy. But they also distribute miniature games. So there's a YouTube channel I watch that was talking about the effect of them going out of business might have on some companies, because now Diamond has all the stock of all these games that they're just going to sell for pennies on the dollar. So it's going to flood the market with cheap product where you can get from there instead of buying from like the company itself.
Right.
Which could affect it'll affect the sales, and it may affect how especially small and mid-sized companies, how they what may happen. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with their once their bankruptcy hearing and everything goes through. So
Interesting. Very interesting.
Anyway, 10 years.
10 years.
My detour aside.
That was a hell of a
10 years.
tangent, Danny. That was a hell of a tangent.
well, that's par for the course for the show. If anybody's been listening from the beginning, it was always that. It would start on one thing, then go towards another. So I started out with Travis, and then the producer, and then after a while, Travis and the producer kind of fell off, and that's when John and Danny, for those that don't know it, would come on as guests on the show, especially if we all went to a tournament together.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so John, I think, was you're the one that asked, hey, why don't we just do a Twitch, the show on Twitch, right?
Yeah.
I think you said that, and we initially actually filmed every episode, except you didn't want to do weekly. That was a difference.
Yes, I didn't.
Yeah.
The original show was a weekly show, and I would go to Travis's house every week.
Yeah.
And then after we record, we'd go eat lunch, because we record on the Sundays. And with John, he didn't want to do weekly. It's probably for the best, because it's kind of a grind after a while.
Yeah.
Well,
And
also
I
my
don't
kids
know
were a lot younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, just finding the time.
Yeah.
But like your kids have a lot more activities now.
Yes.
Thing.
Well, and also we were doing it at my house. Everybody would show up,
Yes.
and we'd live stream to Twitch from my house.
From the house, yes.
Yeah.
And we had the Imperium flag, which is one of the
flag.
funniest moments on Earth.
That is my moment. That is my
That's
favorite moment
you.
from this show.
Which we'll get with, yeah. So, and it's evolved into what it is now, which is basically pre-recording on YouTube when we have time, as opposed to trying to make time to do it live, and then just uploading it on YouTube at this point. But yeah, so favorite moments, John. That was the Imperium flag being mistaken for a Nazi flag.
Yes, we're sitting there on Twitch in the old days of Twitch. And we had that Imperium flag up, and some guy comes on. Oh man, what's this? Like that flag back there? And we're like, what? Yeah, man, Warhammer. He's like, what? Like, yeah, this is Warhammer. Well, yeah, that flag back there. That's like, and we're like, no. We picked up on it immediately. We're like, no. Dude, it's two white dudes and two Mexican guys. What are you?
Yeah,
that flag's not what you think it is, brother.
I mean, it could
really good.
Go find an overpass in Ohio. Probably he's standing on it right now.
They there was a time we did. Remember when we did the launch of 8th edition?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did the live stream.
Your house, John.
Yeah, we live streamed all day
for like 8 hours.
That was fun.
That was a really good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Natalie took the kids to Disneyland. She's like, I'm not to be here for this.
Right.
That's how you know how long ago 8th edition was, is where it was affordable to go to Disneyland.
Yeah, she could just be like, cool, I'm going to take the kids to Disneyland, yeah.
Well, now 8th edition was like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. Now she's like, hey, I'm going to take the kids to Disneyland. I'd be like,
yeah.
You on what bank account?
Yeah, because, was it 8th edition or 7th? It was 8th. It was 8th,
yeah.
8th.
Yeah. 7th edition was almost 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I remember we were recording and we just started out when we found out that they were getting rid of 6th edition.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Oh yeah, the only edition I skipped since started playing in 2nd.
6th.
When it was the only edition that was like what, a year and a half.
Yeah. Well, even they knew it was
22
terrible.
months.
Yeah.
It was 22 months.
Yeah.
That's why I went hard into War Machine. Is because 6th edition fucking sucked.
It was terrible.
I was like, yeah.
They one of the good. What? Oh my god, that's where we got the Salty John.
No, that was 8th edition. Yeah, that was 8th edition.
No, that was when we went to the
BAO.
BAO.
That was Battle Company. That was Battle Company.
Yes, that was 7th edition. But it was that BAO when you started with Salty John.
That's fine, yeah. I was
Salty
thinking,
John was born.
Yes, that's true.
Where you made us go over somebody's list like 3 times.
No. You're thinking so that's the one that was 8th edition. The one before that, yes, the first one where we walked up the stairs and stuff. That was
that was 7th.
No, that was the guy. No, it wasn't. So the one where the guy, I got upset with because he's like, yeah, I don't think that this model was here.
Yeah, he
and I'm
wanted
like,
to draw.
I'm like, dude, we all moved our models off this game and turned in our scores. We're done.
Right.
That was 7th edition.
That was 7th. Yes.
When I went over the guy's score because I was undefeated and then I lost. That was 8th edition. That was the first BAO of 8th edition.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember you had us.
Yeah, we all sat there like, how's he have all this stuff? And then we were like, oh yeah, because this double demi company was like all free transports and free whatever. And I was like
5,000 points in an 1850 army.
Oh man, my Space Marines could have had free drop pods this whole time. What the hell?
Right.
Because like it had just come out. That was like the first big tournament using that codex.
The detachment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then from the Travis era, the one thing that came out that I remember was and I did it for a long time, was the microwaving. How they didn't have a microwave.
Oh right, yes. Oh yeah.
So, for those that obviously don't know at this point, they had read an article where when you microwave water, it changes the molecules in the same way when you play. I can't remember if it was
like satanic heavy metal.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that's what it. So it vibrated the molecules the same way as when you play satanic heavy metal to the water.
Sure.
Which was why they didn't have a microwave, because then it'd be a demonic instrument of Satan, I guess. So what I ended up doing for like at least 2 years, was I microwaved my water in a Horus Heresy coffee mug, which I still have.
Yes.
And then I would sprinkle the water onto my army before a tournament.
Nice.
And I did that pretty regularly, like for like 2 years,
I like
and I always ended up like 2-1 at worst.
Yeah.
So
Just
it
like
works.
doing that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. This is the first place we've lived in the whole time we've been married that has a microwave. We've never had one before.
Oh, really?
And we only have it because it's built in.
Yeah.
Because we never had
That's
one.
how
Because
mine
it was
is.
like, we don't have the counter space.
They do take up a lot.
I don't know. You work at a Catholic school, so I'm pretty sure it's because of religion.
We
You
have
can't
microwaves at the school.
Seems wrong.
I think once John and Danny came on, and Tom eventually, and people ask me, and I still don't know how Tom got on the show.
I don't know. We picked him up like a stray at the store. We were like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
you're kind of funny. Do you want to be on the show?"
It was.
Yeah.
It's very much the meme of the men versus women of when it's like, oh my god, do you want to invite Deborah to go out with us? I don't know. I mean, we've only really known her for 6 months, and then it's just
Right.
then it's the guys of like, hey, I found this random dude. It's like, can you come hang out with us? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this guy's been at the store twice in a row.
Yeah.
Well, Tom used to come with us to. At the old store, he would come with us to like Lucky Baldwin's, right? And he was already there because he played with Danny Kwan, and he had like his whole little crew. Yeah. And when they started playing more with the rest of the crew, and we'd go to Lucky Baldwin's, I think that's how we adopted him, was through drinking.
Yes, Lucky Baldwin's was the thread for sure.
Yeah. Danny, you have any other memories from the show?
I mean,
or from doing the show, I guess.
What is?
Because I have a few more.
I don't know. Like, there's been so many. It's hard to pick out one. I mean, maybe to be too earnest on Maine, but this was when we were doing the live Twitch shows at John's house. But when we had our Jeff Robinson memorial, I always thought that was important, and was. I guess I'm thinking about it more just because of seeing Reese at LVO. We ended up talking about Jeff for a little bit.
Okay.
So, and it's kind of sad that there's a lot of people in the 40K space now who just are too young to remember him.
Yeah.
Right, and just how important he kind of was to all of this, right?
So at least in the beginning.
Especially real early on,
yeah. So, like, the idea of shoutcasting, of streaming games, I mean, he really was the driving force that got that. Was the proof of concept, right?
That just means we're old, Danny.
I know it does. I don't know. I think it's really funny when we have
I'm in my prime. I'm just going to duck all these things.
Yeah. I mean, I really love the birth of SoCal Danny, of having to recount that in the next episode.
I meant on the show, not at events.
No, I meant but afterwards. What else was...
The events are tied to the show because, let's be honest, we wouldn't go to as many events as we do for the show.
Well, I certainly wouldn't, because the show is... I don't know if the show got us the gig of... I don't think the show got us the gig of doing LVO, but...
It was the fact that Hammer of Wrath, which is like one of the longest running tournaments in Southern California, was the one that Reese and Frankie would come to.
Yeah.
And they asked Travis because they knew that he could do it, and he lived close to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then I convinced him to ask me and Danny to go.
Yeah.
To help.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily the show, because we were definitely not the judges' show at that point at all.
It morphed into that because all of us were doing it, except for Tom. All of us were judging at some point.
Actually, what I think helped get that attention is when we freaked out over Tank Shock. Remember 7th edition Tank Shock?
I do.
Yeah.
Where we accidentally, broke how it worked.
Yeah.
That's when Travis demonstrated how it works.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, what?
He did the napkin math on
that. And then we did the video about the pink horrors, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. That still has, I think, our most views.
Yeah. Because we did this video, and GW even talked about the video at one point.
I mean,
okay.
It was a wild time.
Yeah. It was the Wild West.
What other... I'm trying to think... I mean, I don't know. There's so many great times where we have really pissed off Tom. That's been really fun.
Yes.
Or he actually gets a little bit hurt.
Was when we made Tom cry. I'm going to say cry. When we were playing PUBG.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Or, when John made Tom cry.
I was not on for this, unfortunately.
It was so good.
No video's on there, and it's hilarious.
It is hilarious. Oh God! Oh, come on! This sucks, guys.
Come on, guys. It was literally that. My God. Oh, come on, guys. Oh my God.
And then I made it better by running everybody over with the car.
Yes, on the other team and
our team. And then I drove. Somebody got in the car with me, and I drove off the cliff with them in the car. Yeah. And they were like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Yep."
Oh my God.
Another really fun time was when Dark Tide first dropped, and we were doing like the episodes while playing.
Yeah.
We did a couple episodes while we were playing, and I just remember Adam's comment about me getting the flamethrower and just the constant low key giggle of excitement I would make.
What else was there? There's always the events. There's always something in whatever event we all go to together. Whether it's Danny, whether it's Danny, Tom, and Jackson all throwing up at the same time.
Yep.
In different locations of the bathroom.
It wasn't quite at the same time.
Oh. You remember it much differently than I do. So, and I
don't really remember it, so that's fair.
You remember Budapest very differently than I do.
Oh my God! It's just always been fun. And it's probably why I still do it. There are times when I'm just like, maybe I should stop doing it, but I'm like, eh. But then my spike comes into play, and then we end up doing an episode.
It also helps because just like talking to us. Don't lie. You just like
I get because I don't see it at the store anymore.
Yeah. But also at this point, like, why not just keep doing it? Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, it's also helpful, like in today's episode, where I'll talk about updates or changes for Cherokee.
Right.
So it's something like that, and it helps with that stuff because we would always use the podcast or even the YouTube because John, you did them first when you did the updates for LVO.
Yeah, I used to do a video for the.
And then when they started to get more, when they started to do more events, like today, we'll be having an update for Cherokee or what changes there are for Cherokee for today. But yeah, I mean, the show started with me and Travis talking to ourselves and saying we can do a better podcast than these guys because we were talking about this certain podcast that was on
back in the Wild West of podcasts.
Yeah, and it's just 10 years later, I'm still doing it because I'm stubborn like that. So
yeah. You know what I think also helped? We flirted with it every now and then, especially in the earlier days, but we never really tried to monetize this that hard. Like, we're never like, this is going to make us money. This is going to be our job.
No, we never do that.
And it, I think that helps it keep it from being too burning out. When you're like, oh, wait, you make no money at this. It's like impossible to really make money at this.
Special thanks for those people that have stuck it out all this
Seriously.
time. They're still,
Who help pay for hosting fees. Like, because it does cost money to do it.
Oh, my God. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us despite the fact that we don't plug you for money every 5 seconds like we're Democrats.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
And we did morph into the only Roman Catholic 40K podcast.
Yeah, sure. I like that part too. I like that we're the only Catholic 40K podcast. Which is fitting since the entire freaking theme of 40K seems to be somewhat mired and steeped in Catholicism.
Yeah. And super Catholicism.
Yeah. Super Catholics.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's all nostalgia bait for right now. Anything comes up, but
I should get TFG. I should get a TFG radio tattoo for the 10-year anniversary.
Oh my God.
Hard pass.
Yeah, sorry, Danny. I mean, you can get one all you want. That's fine.
Yeah, I won't judge you. You do it.
But yeah.
So segue.
So speaking of other events,
what's up with Cherokee?
Cherokee's coming up in about a week and a half from today. Day of recording on Tuesday. My flight leaves I'm leaving on Wednesday, and then coming back Monday, I think, of that week.
That's a long trip.
After this weekend, so
That was a long time.
Just a few little notes. There's no top cut this year, so make sure everybody you're playing 8 rounds. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not your mom, but
it could be your daddy.
Some of them I could, but yeah. So 8 rounds. So we end early on Sunday, so it gives you time to like do other stuff at least on Monday. Please pay attention to the times. Don't be caught out because you thought we were starting later. The Eldar Codex is in effect. The Imperial Guard Codex is not, because it's technically not out yet.
Wow.
And it's not out till the 22nd.
Oh.
That's okay.
So just to be sure.
Eldar dominance, baby. Let's see it.
Yeah, we'll see. It'd be interesting to see
who wins. It looks really strong. So
yeah, Eldar looks real strong.
I like that Wraith Knight with the sword and the shield. I'll tell you what.
I tell you what.
Boy, I tell you what.
If you have any questions in regards to proxies or conversions, you can always send them to head judge at frontlinegaming.org. You know, take a look and get back to you on that, whether they're approved or not. We are going to be strict on the time since it was a bit difficult during LVO because there was so many people. But I think for this event right now, it's about 280 tickets sold, I think.
Nice.
Which is still a lot.
Yeah.
I think last year was like 260. But what I'm going to do this time is I'll go around, try to get everybody to get their scores in. When we go the second time around, I'll probably give each table 5 minutes. When the 5 minutes is up, if they haven't turned their score in, then I'm just going to double loss the table.
Nice.
I think that's the only way. That's the only way to get people to
double losses, baby. I love it.
Double losses for the loss.
That originally was my solution for problems.
It's always a good solution.
In ye old day of the ITC Code of Conduct. What do you want the penalty to be? Double loss. Fuck you and fuck you. Walks away from table. Done.
Yeah, I think we are using a new rubric that was made by Danny. So that'll be in effect. It's not QW's not doing the judging like they did for LVO. So
yeah, don't come at me with the painting stuff for LVO. I literally had nothing to do with that.
Oh, nobody's coming at you. Calm down.
I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah, where's my painting scores from
yeah.
LVO?
You got like a 50.
Out of what?
100.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
That's average. Not like, U.S. school average, but it's like average. That's fine.
It's an F job.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an F
That's
job.
only an F according to United States schools. Statistically speaking, 50 is fine.
Yeah, you keep saying that. What matters is you believe that.
I mean, I don't need your fucking permission. I'm going to keep saying it.
All right, I'll make sure when Edwin or Eve come home with a 50 that I will mention that to you. Remember, that's actually average.
They get a 50, they're not coming home. I don't know what to tell you.
So this year they're giving out pins instead of coins. So LVO was the last event they were giving out coins. In the high roller or the VIP package, they gave out a LVO pin. Mm-hmm. So they're giving out pins this year
cool.
of
pins are cool.
Coins.
You can stick them on things.
I like pins on my like dice bags and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean they hand them out at soccer all the time for soccer tournaments. So I have a bunch of them.
Put them in your ears.
So, I guess.
I only say that because I want to see some idiot do it.
Someone will do it.
I know, that's why I said it. I'm manifesting the good I want to see in the world.
Yeah, so I believe that's it for right now. One additional thing I get to be doing. I don't think I told you, Danny. I told John when we played your last week. So unfortunately, we had the normal TO for the narrative drop like about a week ago.
Oh no!
and I couldn't get anybody to do the narrative, at least for the whole weekend. They could maybe come for the day, but I needed someone to come both days because it's Saturday and Sunday. So I am doing my first narrative event.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes.
Please tell me he had all the stuff written already, so like you're just...
No.
I did it. He had the like synopsis for where the flavor text for like the campaign.
Right.
But that was it. He didn't have anything else in terms of how it was going to work, what it was going to do, so I just had to come up with something. And of course I came up with something super convoluted and different.
Yeah.
So
now I'm going to preface this with the fact that like nobody who plays narrative is going to listen to this show.
No.
But if you're playing in this event, I'm apologizing to you in advance. I know all 8 of you will still have a great time.
it's 14.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
I know all 14 of you will still have a great time, but I do apologize.
Although it was 8 at
whatever
one
Adam writes in advance.
No, just ask me.
I just it wasn't. I just sent out like the initial mission or whatever. So it's basically I decided to do like a tree campaign where depending who wins and who loses, the branches to a different type of battle, and then so you play the first game with whatever mission, and then if Imperial wins, you go to this mission. If Chaos wins, you do this mission, and then it branches out from there. So, and then each day, and then is a different mission, and there's going to be secret missions for the 2 main armies.
Okay.
Because right now it is out of these 7 players on one side, 3 of them are Astra Militarum for Imperium, and on the Chaos side, 3 of the 7 armies are Death Guard. So they are going to be there'll be special missions for each of those that earns extra points for that mission, and then it contributes to the result for that. It's almost like a team tournament, basically. So it contributes to the result of the score, and then whoever wins is where the branch goes for the next mission. So, if you look at the player packet, the tree is in there with the missions depending on which part of the tree you're at. So right at this point, all that's done. So I just need to write the flavor text for basically for each mission. So I only have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have to write 10 flavor texts. 10 flavor texts and then 10 results or 5 results for the campaign. So we'll see how that goes.
Have fun.
I won't. No, I probably will. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Nice.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
Nice.
How are you? So
speaking of another one of our long-running jokes.
So I'm having to do with that. We'll have right now I think it's 280 tickets sold. There'll be myself and then 3 other judges there, and then I'll just have to swing by the narrative guys once I get them going. Because, like I said, it's only 14 players, so it's 7 tables, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'd be more worried if there was like, hey, we got 40 narrative players. I'd be like, you need to find somebody else.
Yeah.
But it's a nice small number, so it should be okay. And they'll be right next to the champs. So, and I tried to make sure their starting and stopping times were set differently so that I wouldn't have to do both at once.
That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something new. It's something different. I actually enjoy it. I'm actually enjoying the process. So.
We're gonna lose out in the narrative.
All right.
Doesn't mean I'll do it again.
The narrative, you heard it first.
Adam's going to be running the 40K friendly narrative at LVO next year instead
at
of
LVO.
champs.
No. Maybe. Who knows? I need to get my cosplay if I'm going to do it for LVO.
Oh God.
But yeah, so doing that. And then I think that's it for now. I don't think for the dates. Just a reminder for the dates, which is really important. Rules cutoff is basically this Thursday. So which is why the Eldar make it, because they came out last week, but the Imperial Guard won't because they don't come out till the 22nd. Lists are due the following Monday, and then lists will be released on Wednesday. The Wednesday right before the event. So make sure you get your lists in. And as always, a reminder, when you get to the event, to check in so that you get paired when I start pairings. If you're not checked in, you won't get paired. So, if you need model approval, the last day for model approval is the 17th, which is on Monday, President's Day. I believe that is it. As far as I know, as of today, the FAQ is up to date. So it'll be up to date by the time rules cutoff is, or not rules cutoff. By the time the lists are due, I'll have all the questions in there answered. So, but other than that, I think that's it for Cherokee. I think you guys wanted to talk Eldar a little bit. I know you guys have looked at the Eldar stuff. I have not.
Yeah, I like it
because I am not a fan of Eldar in general in any game system because they are always broken.
I mean, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
There is a sudden interest. There is a sudden interest in our chat about Eldar.
No.
About, hey, where's our Eldar army at? What do we need for it?
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is it looks like we need scorpions, banshees, spiders, and the new spider lord thingy.
So all the aspect warriors.
Not all of them. We have
plenty of fire dragons and dark reapers.
Yeah, I don't know about the banshees, honestly.
I don't. Or striking scorpions, really. I like the warp spiders. I do like dark reapers. I do like 10 fire dragons and a wave serpent.
Fire dragons hit. They hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
Striking scorpions, I could see maybe getting like 2 squads of 5, just because they do infiltrate and scout.
That's true.
Which is pretty good for just that early, with them and rangers, it's really good kind of early board control. But they're just not really that tough, so it's like, Same with banshees, like they can kind of hit, but they're just not that tough, and I don't think they hit that hard. Mm-mm. Shining spears are scary as hell. Those things, if you can get them there, shining spears annihilate shit.
Yeah, they're just super fragile is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't see that as a big problem because they navigate terrain really well because they're so fast, right?
Yeah, like, they don't have to go up and over. They just get to go through.
Yeah. Yep, and so especially in the way tournament layouts and terrain are these days, there's always places to hide them because they're not like a huge footprint.
That's true. If you're playing at places that use FLG, WTC, GW terrain,
right? Like they're easy to keep safe from shooting. And they're linebackers, right? Like they stay in the back, and a threat comes up, they come up and deal with it.
Yeah,
right. And they're just stupid fast, so they're going to get there. And having damage 3 everywhere on their weapons is really good.
Yeah,
right. Between the shooting, like especially if they can actually if they can close in and shoot with the lance and then charge. That's not a lot of stuff is going to survive that. Like that's just a lot of high value shooting. You can make them faster. You can do tricks with them. They're just solid. Like I could definitely see a skew list too, which is like deep in my heart which makes me kind of want to do an Exodite army of 18 striking shining spears of just dudes on velociraptors just
God.
In the Wind Rider host, man, that's easy first turn charges if your opponent deploys too far forward.
Right. And that's the only problem with Wind Rider I see is that it's really dependent on your opponent not knowing what they're doing.
Yeah,
which I don't really like in general for a tournament. It's fine for playing in a league.
Yeah, it's a gotcha list, right? Yeah. Like it really is relying on how something like that. It's just they do. I mean, being able to take things and put them into strategic reserve is good. it really relies, honestly, that you have like all the jet bikes. You have the Shroud Runners, which God knows people didn't really buy those because they've never been that good. No. The Harlequin jet bikes, right? Those are really good in the Wind Rider host, and then just scat bike, but
right.
And then Shining Spears, but
yeah,
I think, like I said, there's so much tech. There's just so many things you can do. It's just dumb.
I'm liking the War Host detachment. I'm liking the Guardian detachment.
Guardian Battle Host is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Guardian one.
Just the regular old War Host is pretty good.
War Host, just because you get so many more of the battle focus tokens.
Yeah.
And it just kind of has everything. Because you have, really what you have is Fire and Fade, which is just has been a bread and butter awesome Eldar strat since forever.
Yeah.
Right, being able, and they're perfect for Dark Reapers. Or fire dragons in some situations, but you also have feigned retreat, which lets you fall back and charge, which is really good. Skyboard Sanctuary, which is the get back into the Wave Serpent, which is really good, right? Especially again with the 10 fire dragons come out, blast
or
something,
even
get the hell back in.
And
Dire Avengers.
Dire Avengers, that's a good one because you want to protect that too. So yeah,
lightning fast reflexes. Right, for that, I think it's still -1 to hit.
-1.
Yeah, it's just got good. The only thing is, make sure you throw Eldred in there so you have some CP, right? Because you always want to be, having CP because there are a lot of strats to use.
Yep.
But it's really flexible, and there's just a lot of weird good shit in there.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was a little excited when our team Discord was talking about the Wraith Knight. Was sword
and board,
and then I looked it up and I was like, oh, they're not actually pulling my leg. It's not actually terrible.
No, it's not. I mean, it's. I can definitely kind of see its place in, especially if you're doing more of a dancey MSU, really good at doing secondaries. That's something you can kind of just throw in the middle and should survive for a turn or so. Because you got 18 wounds, T12. Most importantly, it has a 2+ armor save.
Yes.
So that makes
it's got the 4++ with -1 damage because of the shield.
Right. Yeah, but it's that 2+ save I think that really matters because that just means chip shotting it is so hard. It's just hard to put easy, whatever, I'll throw some bolters in it, maybe I'll get one through. Where it's like, man, a 2+,
yeah.
Especially also, with cover rules, it's easy to get a cover save.
Yeah. Also, like we were saying with the terrain, it is a lot easier to hide it than it used to be.
Yeah,
because
and it goes through terrain.
Where it's like, hey, this footprint goes to the sky,
right?
And then on my turn, he just walks through the terrain. He's agile Titanic or whatever it's called, Titanic agility, which is it's an oxymoronic term. I was reading it, and I was like, Titanic agility, what is this? Oh my gosh, I could just walk through the. Why don't my Imperial Knights get this?
Right. Well, they kind of do, but they might battle shock themselves doing it.
The Chaos Knights get it. They can be like 1 CP. I'm gonna walk through these walls.
Well, Imperial Knights can do that, and the agility doesn't let them do it with a charge. It's only a normal advance or fallback for them to go through terrain. Yeah, it's not,
it's going to take the finesse. You're going to have to line things up right. You're going to have to know what you're doing with the movement of it.
But even with that, I don't think it's a I kill you piece. I think it's I take the center objective.
Yeah.
And I make you have to dedicate a lot of resources and expose a lot of resources for you to get it, and then I mop you up.
Especially with the number of L's that are out there that are in the middle in those different map layouts we've got right now. Yeah, you set that sucker out there and it's like, cool. In order to kill it, you're going to have to commit, like you were saying. And then my Wave Serpent's full of stuff, and you have so much other things to deal with. But yeah, you're right. It's not going to be something that wins you the game necessarily. It's a piece. Yeah. It's a big, what do we used to call them? Distraction Carnifex?
Carnifexes,
Yeah.
It's an anchor piece, right? It's the thing that you drop down into not your natural expansion, but either the center, or if you're being really aggressive, or they give it to you, your opponent's natural expansive objective of just, great. If you want to take this back from me, you're going to have to expose yourself, right? You're going to have to dedicate resources to doing this, and that means I get to mop you up next turn. And then do you have enough to finish me off? Yes, no.
Right.
And with Eldar Tricks, probably not, because you can, again, feigned retreat. You can do a bunch of stuff to where you're mitigating the damage that they could do back to you on the clapback.
Yeah.
And so then you're just winning the attrition game, right? Just trading smartly. So I can see them. I mean, Honestly, it's they're like $420 with the price adjustment. I would have liked them better under $400, but
yeah, $395. They would be sick if they were still $395. Yeah.
But it's still better than the other way, because like, what other tanky units does Eldar have besides like the Wraith blades with the 4++?
And even then,
they're not that tanky.
No.
And if you to give them a Wave Serpent, a Spirit Seer, and the full 6, it's still the same. Like, you're spending about the same.
You can't walk the unit of 10. That's not going to work. Like, what are you going to do? They're not Deathwing Knights.
Right. Yeah, so I think I do think the Sword and Board Wraith Knight has play. I really do. I think that, again, and yeah, you can't even you can't have the unit of 10 Wraith Blades anymore. It's just 5. They just come in units of 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Which is dumb.
I honestly looked at the prices and the rules, and I was like, I'm not even going to try to build, even though I have 15 of them. That's
no. So, like, I mean, it's just
that's my ignorance, because like I literally looked at the rules for the data sheet, and I was like, well, nope, okay, cool. Yet another edition where we don't get to use our 15 Wraith Blades.
Yep.
Speaking of new editions, well, not new editions, new tournaments. John, you said we were talking earlier about you possibly going to BAO.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know that I used to go to the BAO all the time. Mm-hmm. I might actually be the only active 40K player who went to every BAO in the barn.
When I was in the barn.
I was trying to think of other players I know of who went to all of them, because there was the first 4 were all in that at the Fairplex, which was like not really a Fairplex, but it kind of was. And they were a fantastic event. Like at the time, we were like, man, this is cool, because like, where else are you going to do this on the West Coast? Like there wasn't anything, because Broadside Bash didn't count. Whatever, it's not even a thing anymore, so I can say all the shit I want.
They still have it.
Yeah, So, I think I might be the only active 40K player who played in the first 4 barn, all 4 of the barns.
Oh, played all 4?
All 4.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I never did.
I don't think I've ever been to BAO.
No.
I think it's the one thing I've never had a chance, because it's always when I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Like May is like
a
terrible.
Yeah, it used to be in July.
Yeah, July and May are terrible months for me in terms of like travel.
Right. And see, when it went to May, I stopped being able to go as often.
Right.
Yeah. And it was also where I've had my best placements. The one time I went 6-0. So that
BAO.
Yeah. So like, and this is the 15th anniversary, and they're going to have like a 15th anniversary party, and I'm like, I should try to go. But I can regale everybody with my tales of dice clattering across the concrete floor, 3 aisles away on the concrete floor. That was one of the first times I got to hang out like for a long period of time with Goat Boy.
Oh, so you can be the hipster that you were there first.
I can be the hipster. I was there first.
The barn hipster.
Barn hipster.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll be there. So
yeah.
I don't know who else will be there with me though. So I don't have at least right now, but that's a few months away. I have RMO before that, so
right.
Because this time of year it's the back-to-back events. So
yeah.
I think my favorite venue for BAO was the Game Castle.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, considering where the other places were,
right. I mean, the top of the parking structure was interesting.
Very different.
But I liked Game Castle because it was in a store, and I didn't go the year it was ridiculously hot. You have to remember.
Oh, that's why. That's why I'm giving you the side eye, because I was there for that one.
I missed that year.
That was,
I went 2 years in a row. I went the 1 year where 8th edition was new, and I actually wrote the missions for it. Remember, I adapted the 7th edition missions, and I called Frankie over for a question, and he's like, "What are you calling me for? You wrote the missions." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I can't just tell this guy that. You have to tell this guy that I'm right. I can't." That just was tell the year guy.
After you went 6-0, right? Because was you 6-0?
The next year I went 6-0.
Oh,
I went 6-0 in 8th edition with the Castellan list. It was Castellan.
Yes, it was with the guard and or you either went with the guard.
I didn't do Blood Angels. I took the Loyal 32 guard, and then 4 knights. Everybody was taking 3 knights, Loyal 32, and Blood Angels. And I was like, screw that! I'm not taking Blood Angels. I'm going to take a 4th knight. I was like, what? I'm going to take a Crusader.
I went the Blood Angel route. Yes.
Yeah, no, I took a Crusader. I had a Crusader, double Warden, not a Wardens, double the fighting
the close combat one.
Yeah,
because we had almost the same list.
Yeah, and a Castellan, and then I had the Loyal 32 with the mortars.
Yeah,
and everyone's like, "Why are you taking mortars?" I'm like, "Indirect."
Yeah, yeah. That's when there was no limit to how many CPs you could generate.
Right. Yeah, and I was generating all these CPs all this game long. It was great. It was fantastic. Yep. Yeah. No, I liked that venue, but I was not there the year it was ridiculous.
No, yeah, that was there. That was the year. That was 2000. I think that was 2016. That was the first year they had it there, and they tried to cram as many people as possible, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was bad. And then they limited it to like 150 people, and it was a little more bearable.
Which is why I think I was happy because I went after they had done that.
Yeah, but yes, that's why you have a better view of it.
Yeah.
Much like the middle and the youngest child.
I got rose-colored glasses over here.
Because you came by later, not the oldest who was there for the first one.
Look, I missed the barn. It was good times. You got to bring your own alcohol.
Simpler days. Simpler days. That's what it was.
I remember the one time I was playing the Grey Knights in 5th edition, and I had the Cyphelman Dreads, and the second day I showed up to the table, and there was some guy from Bell of Lost Souls who used to run Dark Eldar, and I walk up to the table, and he's like, I don't want to play this. And I'm like, and we knew each other because of the blogging, because we used to do the other blog. And I was like, okay. And he's like, yeah, like, let's just give you the win, and I have beers. Let's go watch Goat Boys game. I was like, cool. That's fine. So we walked in, and Frankie and Reach like, you're done? And I'm like, no, he didn't want to play. He conceded.
Collusion.
Yeah.
They were like, what?
Collusion.
I'm like, I had Cyphelman Dreads. I had 3 Cyphelman Dreads, and he had, like, all Raiders. And they were like, oh, okay.
Just for the nostalgia point, the BAO also gave us one of the great 40k memes of the dude completely boxing out the table, so his opponent who null deployed, could not come in anywhere, and just
that wasn't BAO, was it?
That wasn't BAO.
Oh, no, that was. I thought that was in the barn.
No, that was
because there was a GW employee looking at the. If you look at the picture,
it's a GW.
It's a GW employee looking at the rulebook,
trying to figure out if this guy's right or not.
Yeah.
I
swore that was BAO.
It does look like it. It's like a big hanger that's or something. Yeah,
so maybe that's one.
Yeah, it was the same era though. It was that.
Yeah, it's that era.
Time frame.
Yeah, I think 5th edition.
It might have been tail into 4th.
When you could do that,
you could. The null deploy the White Scar bikers, and then the Tau could just like infiltrate right onto the line.
Well, the guy was it Tau or
it was Kroot? It was Kroot. No, it was Kroot all the way across. No.
Yeah.
It's a great meme. We need to resurrect that meme.
I don't think anyone will remember it this
Well, nobody will understand the context anymore because there's no armies that do that anymore. There's no more null deploy, and there's no more infiltrating all the way into the enemy's deployment zone. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah. The picture comes up once in a while.
It does.
And then some people have to explain the picture, basically.
And then we're all sad because we feel old.
Yeah.
There's an article where they talk to that player that did the screen out.
Yeah.
You can find it.
It's a good article. Funny. I remember that.
Yeah. But yes, this is the nostalgia episode of TFG Radio, since
we're all in our feels.
That no one's going to remember, or no one does remember, because when I talk to some of the other judges about stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, there was this person when they did this, and then they're like, oh, that was before my time because I didn't start playing until 8th edition.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody should be allowed to judge who doesn't remember 7th. If you don't remember the agony of having to do templates for somebody else, you don't get to judge.
So you're saying someone should judge a Horus Heresy event?
No, it doesn't count. It's not as agonizing.
No, it is because they use templates.
I know. I'm aware.
So They have to do one horse heresy event to qualify.
Yes.
Or just the scatter dice.
Oh my god.
Having to do that for people. No. It's angled this way more. It's angled this way more.
I'm the judge. It's angled whatever direction I say it is. Hey, look, it angled into your army magically. Fuck, imagine that.
Oh my god. Yeah, so there's a lot of that. Speaking of old judges, just a reminder, if you're interested in just learning to be a judge, there is the FLG judge program. I'll put a link in the description. You just sign up, fill out the form, and then we'll get you into the Discord, and you can just ask any questions you want about organization, judges, how to do this, how to do that, or just to network with other people from the area, from the U.S. It's mainly U.S., but I think some Canadians are in there. But it's a lot of fun, and it also helps me in trying to find people to help out. Not limited to 40K or Age of Sigmar or just GW events. It could be any game system, but you just sign up and it's free, and no test is required. Although now I may just have people judge Horse Heresy before they have to judge, so they can learn the fun of having to position a flamer template.
It is not the worst idea ever for making judges suffer a little bit through absolute worst possible scenario before they get to judge the
kids
easiest
these days with
possible
their
scenario.
avocado toast.
Yeah.
and no deep strike mishaps.
Their iPads to keep track of things, and all the rules at your fingertips because you get codes and you don't have to carry around stacks of books.
Oh my god! Remember when Reese would come by with the boxes of codexes and
just set at the table so we had access?
Armor. Yeah,
that was the worst.
Do you remember where we had to print out the pairings and tape them to the wall and just have people like, all right,
come find that at Adepticon.
Yeah. Oh, different times, man.
Of course they still do that. I remember I used to always bring the binder full of all of the printed out FAQs and erratas.
Oh, yeah.
Because you weren't always going to be able to bring it up on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll end it on that nostalgia.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Old Man Corner. So next time on Old Man Corner, Old Judge Corner.
Old Man yells at Cloud.
Old Man yells at Cloud.
Oh my god. So just a reminder about Cherokee, the cutoff dates. If you have any questions, you can email me at headjudge@frontlinegaming.org, and I will get you straight away. I'll probably have one more reminder video right before I leave, so hopefully by next week, just for final reminders. But other than that, 10 years. 10 years. I can't believe it's 10 years.
Can you stop saying it over and over? Like,
how many more to go?
I don't know. If we're doing this 10 years from now, we got a problem.
10 years from now, we'll see. I'm very stubborn.
Yeah. So. As am I. Once I get in the habit of something, it's real hard to stop.
So because right now Danny are in the contest for who can be at LVO the longest. It's just down to us.
I mean, I could still be there the longest if I'm playing. You mean judging?
Judging.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I've only played once. John's played twice.
It was
Danny 0.
What? I played once. I played the first LVO.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, that was the whole premise of the first episodes, was me going to LVO.
Mm-hmm.
And just like everybody else, I thought I had a list I could win.
Me too. I even had my list professionally painted.
My God.
Hey, you know what? It was Eldar, too. It was Iand and Eldar. Remember? It was yellow and Eldar.
Yeah. So I think we'll leave it at that. John, any pearls of wisdom now that you're back to being a player?
Yeah, winning's not everything.
Sounds like a loser.
Yes,
Danny,
absolutely right.
That's like someone that went 1-5.
I served up a nice fat softball for you. I'm glad you hit it right out of the park.
Oh my God. Danny, any advice or any pearls of wisdom?
Play games, be nice to each other. It's that simple.
Consistency.
Yep.
Consistency is the key.
That's right.
But again, thank everybody for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that jazz. And I'll see a lot of you at Cherokee. And good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Laters.
Yeah.